In this video, I'm going to show you some of the best practices for optimizing your blog content for search engines such as Google. So the first thing that you want to do is go to the article, and you can actually do this before you've published an article. It doesn't really matter. I'd probably obviously recommend that you do this before, but if you haven't yet, you can go back and optimize your previous articles. Just go to the article, and then if you're using WordPress or whatever content management system you're using, just go to the back end and edit that post. And one of the first things that you want to make sure that you do in order to be able to optimize your content if you are using WordPress is install the plugin called Yoast SEO. So if we just scroll down to the bottom, you'll be able to see what this is. There's this plugin for WordPress, which is free to use called Yoast SEO. So you want to be able to install that. If you haven't already, you can do that by going to plugins, install plugins, or you can get whoever's in charge of your website to do it for you. If you're not using WordPress, then just keep in mind everything we're going to be speaking about, because the principles can also apply no matter what content management system you're using. So I just want to go through some of the things that Google look at, and what's really important, what's not as important, just so you're clear when optimizing your content. So the first thing that Google will look at is your title. So you want to make sure that the title of your blog isn't necessarily something maybe really fancy or clever. You can do those kind of articles and content, that's fine. But for SEO, if you want to get things ranked on, higher on Google and stuff like that, you want to make sure that it's going to be a title of something that someone would type in. So in this example, what I was optimizing this specific blog post for was LinkedIn tips for businesses, or LinkedIn tips for business professionals, or LinkedIn tips for business professionals to get leads, or whatever it is. So they're the kind of different keywords that I want to rank for. So the title is going to be one of the most important things. The other thing you also want to have a look at is your headings. So you want to make sure that in your headings, maybe not all of them, but you want to make sure some of them that you have certain keywords in there. So for example, here we've got the keyword LinkedIn All-Star, because that's something that people type in, how to get a LinkedIn All-Star profile. We've also got things like customers, stay in touch with potential customers, again, something people could type in, share your content, ask for recommendations, just different things that people could potentially be typing in. And you want to make sure that whatever you use as your subtitles are things that people could type in. So once you've done that, the next thing, and this is again a really important thing to make sure you optimize, is what's called the metadata. So if you look at the Yoast SEO plugin, you'll be able to actually see a preview of the metadata as how it looks right now. And with this plugin, actually, it makes it really easy to edit your metadata. So right now, this has actually already been optimized, but I just want to go through the process that we went through. So what might happen if you haven't optimized your metadata yet? The title might have, for example, your website name. Then it might have, the link, the text of your actual blog title, and then it might even say, another keyword like blog in there, or whatever it is. You want to make sure that your title has the keywords that you want to potentially rank for. So for this, in this example, I just kept it as the title of the article. And you can see here that this plugin again tells me if the title is too long or too short. So right now it's in the green, so it's just right. But if we were going to delete things, then you can see it would go in the orange. Or if we made it too long, started talking too much, then it would go in the orange again. So you want to get it in the green just right. Again, there's this thing called the slug, which is your URL. So you want to make sure that that's SEO friendly. So you don't want to have lots of different keywords, such as you don't want to have words like for, to, how, all these smaller words. You don't want to have those in there. So you can see here that I've removed things like the number 7. I've removed things like for, to, and. So here it just says the URL is just going to be LinkedIn Business Professionals Tips. Okay, so you just want to keep it to the point and as short as you can, so that's fine. And then for the meta description, Google doesn't really look at the meta description to rank websites, so don't bother too much in stuffing lots of keywords in here. But what this is really important for is actually getting people to click on your article or on your piece of content or on your website when they see it in Google. So you want to make this enticing to people, and at the same time you still want to make it related to what they search for. So in this example, we did, are you looking to boost your sales and leads in your business by using LinkedIn? This article shares 7 simple LinkedIn tips to help you just do that. So A really easy way to do this, and as a best practice if you're not sure what to write here, one of the simplest things you can do is you can ask a question: what is the problem that this article helps solve, and what's the problem that people are having, and then how this article helps you do that. And you might not be able to fit how this article helps you do that all in one line, but one of the other things you can do is you can just entice them by saying, this article shares 7 simple LinkedIn tips to help you do that. And you can actually put ... so that people know that they have to they have to click on it to keep reading to find out what else it is. So if you can't get it all in one sentence, you can actually just do ... And that will help you keep it within the limit, because again, this is, there is a limit. You can't put too much stuff in, otherwise it will go red or orange. So you need to just make sure it's in the right character limit. But if you do that, it will help you start to entice people to actually click on the article when they see it in the search engine results pages. Again, if you use the SEO Yoast plugin, as you're going through this checklist, this plugin will actually tell you how well you're doing. So you can see here we're all in green, which is good, which means that we've done all the right things. So we've got the right keywords in there, we've got the right amount of text, we've got images that have alt attributes. So there's lots of different things you can do to make sure that it's optimized, and SEO Yoast will just tell you if you've optimized it well, and if not, it will go orange, and you can actually see what it is that you need to fix. Now, for some articles and some blog posts, this is just to be used as a guide. You don't need to get them all green, but just aim to get as many as you can done. This is just a guide, so the most important thing is obviously that it reads well. If for example, in order to get a green light, you have to type something in that doesn't make much sense, you have to put some keywords in that don't make much sense to people reading it, I wouldn't recommend you do that. You want to make sure that the number one priority is that it reads well and that it sounds good when people go through it and it looks good. And then secondary to that, you want to make sure that it's optimized for search engines. And that's what Google wants you to do as well. So that, as a best practice, there's some simple things that you can do to optimize your content.